Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So Kale Mitchell from Keenan and Kale was on Club Shay Shay's recently doing an interview. And during that interview, he was explaining to Shannon what his former marriage was like, and the fact that his ex-wife cheated on him multiple times, and how the child wasn't even his, right? And so he was basically explaining to Shannon the trauma and just the horrible time that he was having in this relationship with this woman. And you're telling the truth. Shout out to, first of all, before we keep going any further, shout out to Cat Williams. I know he'll probably never see this video, but shout out to Cat Williams for kicking off the year and saying 2024 gonna be the year of truth, because so much stuff has happened and it's coming out and continues to come out. So many curtains are being pulled back so that you can't unsee what you see. But shout out to that, because people are just getting like exposed, and not even in a petty doxy way, sort of. It's just like people have been coming forward to say what the truth was and naming names now in various different situations, and it's turning out to be true more often than not. So this is one such case where Kale's ex-wife, Taisha Hampton, is a hit dog hollering at this point. Now, what I want y'all to do is listen to, I don't know if even I'm going to play all of it, because this is such bimbo babble. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. This is such a horrific case of bimbo babble, of hyena cackling, of backfoot babbling that I have ever seen. This is one of the worst cases. But I need y'all to hear at least some of this so that you can really understand what we mean by bimbo babble. What do we mean by hyena cackling? What do we mean by backfoot babbling? What is that? I need y'all to really, really hear it. So here we go. She's calling herself responding to the things that Kale was saying about their marriage. So here we go.
I think, like, you know what? You get married, you just stay married.
First off, based on how close you is to this camera, I know you lying. I know you lying. Because who get this close to the camera? Girl, if you don't get your forehead out this camera, okay, it's not making you look cute. I don't know why these chicks be getting close into the camera like that. Like, where you don't try not to let nobody see your background, or where you at, girl. We don't care where you at, girl. And if you shame to be where you at, don't go live trying to show nobody and talk and trying to be a hit hyena in the boneyard. That man came out and told the truth about what was going on in y'all marriage, and now you embarrassed about it. You a hit hyena hollering, and now you want to get, 3 millimeters away from the camera. Girl, if you don't pull that camera back, anyway, that just irked my whole soul, the way she in this camera. Okay.
For the rest of your life. So I figured that I had to accept Kel for who he was, because he was my husband. But along the way, I realized that there were just some things that I could not accept. And once I stopped accepting those things that he wanted me to accept, that's when the man got completely psycho and crazy. And
notice there's nothing in here that's really even truly addressing nothing. This is the true bimbo babble. This is the true essence of hyena cackling, because now he's abusive because you, I quote unquote couldn't accept. So basically you switched up on him in the marriage is what you're telling me. You telling the world that we got married and then I switched up. I switched up on my husband. I came out of the boneyard on my husband. I came out of a trick bag on my husband. I wiped off the fake other fur and let my back feet hang. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I came all the way through out of the chameleon colors into full blown back feet. And then that's when the marriage went left. Because I, man, listen, I cackled so loud through the boneyard that it was undeniable. He could not deny the level of hyena that I actually was, man. I was so free trying to be a hyena, man. When I dropped that mask, ooh, I was tired of carrying that little mask I had on. And once I said, man, listen, you gonna deal with these back feet or bust. Back feet or bust. Okay. And so then when I switched up, that's when he didn't like it. So him not liking it means now that he was a psycho. He was a psycho because he didn't appreciate the switch up. He's a psycho because he didn't appreciate the bait and switch. He's wrong. He's abusive. He's a narc because he didn't like her foolishness.
This really began the narcissistic nightmare that I'm still like, I mean, I hope people are realizing that this is why this is still trauma, right? Because still, so many years ago, this man is lying about abortions. I mean, just the fact that you're even lying about abortions is crazy. That's like really crazy work. But then also to state, I think, like, you know what? You get married, you just stay married. Because of these fake abortions or because of cheating, because of me cheating, this man said he wanted to kill himself. I mean, just think about how narcissistic that sounds, right? Another thing is, and I want to.
He's a narc because you cheated. And apparently, Kale was in a very vulnerable emotional space. And so suicide was on the radar for him. Sometimes you be depressed. Sometimes people get into them spaces, right? And so you're saying that you breaking this man's heart, he's the narc because his heart got broke because of you breaking his heart. So when you broke his heart, his reaction was the problem, not you cheating on him. That wasn't the problem. His reaction, though, however, to you cheating on him is now the problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyways,
Clarify this very much. In the interview, Kel is acting like, we did not want our son and it was a secret. It was not a secret. It was never a secret. We wanted our son. He's the one who wanted me to get pregnant with the son. We told everybody. Both of our parents knew as soon as we found out that we were pregnant. And so there was no sneaking around. It was not a shock. Every single person knew, and he made it a point to make everybody know. So like that's even crazy to me because when this was happening, as soon because of these fake abortions or because of cheating, because of me cheating, this man found out that I was pregnant. He was so excited, and his parents, everyone was so excited, and we were all excited. So this is so strange to me, this version of events that he somehow now has.
and it's like, girl,
Anyway, so yeah, so his Kel's math isn't mathing. He is not talking about me. I am not the one. that is pregnant. It's not even physically possible. The very first time that I had sex, I was impregnated with my son, who is here, and he's alive and well. And there could not have been an abortion in between any of that, because obviously that's not how it works, right? So yeah, so we were 18 when our first child was born. So I don't know what he's talking about. And then 19, nobody was born. But that's why I'm saying that, I really do think that sometimes when people have mental issues and they have, well, I don't even know if it's a mental issue really. I just think that Kel um is such a bitch that he thinks that this is how like he stays famous, is to just act like like a poor guy with my wife cheating on me. Like it makes this stuff fun. Anyway, I don't even know if it's a mental issue really. I just think that Kel um is such a bitch that he thinks that this is how like he stays famous, is to just act like a poor guy with my wife cheating on me. It makes the stuff that he did to myself and our children more tolerable, because I'm such a terrible whore slutty woman who's, I don't even know if it's a mental issue really. I just
So anyway,
think that can't anyway.
unfortunately, I did let the bimbo babble play, but I needed you to kind of hear it, right? Everything is thrown back on Kale. This is his fault. It's his fault she cheated on him. It was his fault that he was hurt by her cheating. It was is he's a B. He's a bitch. Because he was hurt, because that relationship damaged him, because it broke his heart, right? So now all of a sudden, this is his fault. Everything is his fault. Everything is his fault. And this is how these chicks operate: the absolute non taking of accountability, no accountability at all. And then when the truth is exposed about them, when someone comes along and says, this is what happened to me, and that person that perpetrated the wrongdoing happened to be female, she gonna come out and make herself the victim. And this is the tactic that I keep pointing out to everybody: the dodging of accountability must include making yourself the victim, because only a victim cannot, so far as they believe, a victim can't have accountability, right? Because it's wrong to victim blame. So if a woman is a victim of something, then she can't be held accountable for any part of that because she was a victim. That's only true sometimes, and not just for women, but for people in general. Sometimes you are in situations where it's really not your fault and you didn't do anything wrong. Somebody really came along and wronged you. Like they really did that to you without any provocations on your part. So that happens, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this chick that want to be a half a millimeter away out of this camera that's truly irking my soul. We're talking about her and women like her, that everything that go wrong in their relationships, no matter how wrong they are, the man is wrong. So you see how she completely went around her cheating and how wrong that was. Now, these are the same females that when men cheat on them, it's the end of the world. Their whole world was shattered. Their heart was broke. Their world was shattered, and they'll never be the same again. These are those women. But when the women cheat, it wasn't a big deal. And not only is it not a big deal, it was his fault. He created the environment and the situation whereby I felt compelled to cheat on him. I actually had no other choice but to do this, because he was such a horrible husband to me, a horrible a romantic partner to me that I had to find solace in on riding somebody else. Right? I had to find solace on my knees in front of somebody else. That's just the way it is. And they want you to swallow that, like no pun intended. They want the public to accept that without question, without blinking an eyelid, without asking another question, or without, you know what I'm saying, casting a side eye at her. She just mad because he went to a platform with millions of subscribers. His video has gotten millions of views, I believe, at this point. And she just mad because she was brought out. And you wasn't ashamed to do what you was doing when you was doing it. So what you mad for? Because he said it. So men can't come out and tell what went on in their relationship when they were the actual victims of things in the relationship. We saying that the men are not allowed to come in and discuss the facts of the matter in their relationship, and also discuss how they felt at the time when things was going on. That's what you're telling me. Like, girl, get out of here. Get back from the camera and get out of our face. Go sit down. Go sit down, because you didn't have nothing. You didn't have nothing to say to nobody when you was doing all of, before Kale came out and said, well, he's not doing that for no publicity stunt. Shannon must have reached out to him or what have you, so that they could have an interview. Right? And he's just saying what happened in his life. Go sit down. Get out the camera and go sit down. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.